This is Eswatini TV News at 8, live from Babane. I am Notilesi Tola alongside Manzini. First up, here's a look at our top stories. As the cabinet retreat ends today, the Prime Minister, His Excellency Russell Dlamini, has delivered his report. Commissioners of the Judicial Commission of Inquiry appointed to probe public complaints about the office of the Master of the High Court have been sworn in. Anglican Church Reverend Mongo has passed on. Good evening and thank you for joining us. His Excellency, the Honourable Prime Minister Russell Dlamini has outlined the outcomes of the cabinet retreat that was held at the Wa Villa from Sunday. Now the Prime Minister has already given his address. Let's have a look at what he had to say.
O'clock, kube ngamhlanje kulesithathu ngesimbi yesithuba segabene nayo. Tindvuna tembuso ke betihlangane tikanye nabo principal secretaries nama technicians nama directors la khona buka ukuthi uhulumende yangasebenza njani eminyakeni letako kuze kwekuthi umnotho welive uthuthuke nenhlala kahle yesive ithuthuke ibe ingqono. Asisho ke kwekuthi uhulumende ubuke cishe tonke tingoni letimqoka ekukhulumeni ekudzingetseni tonke tingoni leti vetiwe. Uhulumende ubeke phambili ema submissions laqhamuka kuso Sibaya, phindze wabeka embili kukhulisa umnotho, wabeka embili na service delivery kwekuthi letingoni letintsathu leti timqoka kakhulu kuze kuthi umnotho ukhule nekwekuthi ke inhlala kahle yemaswati ithuthuke ibe ngilengqono ekusasa kunalamhlanje. Kube khona ema development partners tihlobo tenkosi leti bekunye nathi ta presenta ukuthi nato tibona kwekuthi yini la ngayenda uhulumende kuze kwekuthi umnotho nenhlala kahle kubo ngqono kusasa kunalamhlanje. Isummary yako nje kwekuthi umnotho welive la kaNgwane uyakhula kodwa kuleli zinga lokukhula ngalo ufuna ukuthi siuphakamise ukhule kakhulu kunendlela okhula ngayo uze ukuthi tidzingo letinyenti deliver tikhona ukuthi tihlangabeteke. Lokunye ke uhulumende labese uyakudzingidza uyakunqoma ukuthi kufuneka ukuthi uhulumende abe nema ambitious plans that our implementer aggressively kuze kwekuthi si pick up in terms of the rate of economic development in the country. Ngicela usho kwekuthi uhulumende uphakamisile kwekuthi utawunda siqiniseke ukuthi tisebenti tembuso tiyabukakala kwekuthi tiyalandzeleleka ukuthi tiyawenda umsebenzi lecashwele wona ukuthi tiwende ngesikhathi futhi lokusho kwekuthi ke ngile performance management system leyo latayiphakamisa ayigijimise uhulumende embili. Uhulumende ke eminyakeni endlulile abesavela iqalile kuyisebenta njengoba besishisto nasekuqaleni ukuthi sitawusebenta we will build on what the previous government had done. So namanje ke leyo PMS lebe seyivele isendleleni seyitavela icala ukuimplementa masinyane kuze kwekuthi umsebenzi uhambe kahle kakhulu. I-decentralization lenye yetinto yakhulunywa Esibayeni kwekuthi umsebenzi wahulumende ubonakale emimangweni kungabi kusembabane kuphela noma emadolobheni but kuyeba sembabane kube lula uthola usizo naloko ke kukhulunyisiwe ukuthi uhulumende takuhambisa imbili ngekulandzela imigomo yetinkundla mhlambe lokunye lengakusho lokuvelile ukuthi i-education system yelive laKangwane iyadzinga kakhulu ukuthi siyiqinise ilungisiswe ukuze ukuthi ilungele umnotho wakusasa tikhona ke netingoni lokushitiwe ukuthi sitate iqinisa kanjani tihlobo tenkosi letinye tivelile tasho ukuthi tiyafisa kubambisa uhulumende ukuze ukuthi i-education system kaNgwane ibe ngcono kungile khona siyathanda ke kwendlulisa kubonga kakhulu kuto tona lehlobo tenkosi letisethembisile ukuthi tatibambisa letifana nayo i-UN system kanye ne-World Bank kune-energy nayo la bonile uhulumende ukuthi imqoka kakhulu kuphehlwa kagesi eveni kwekuthi lawo leti tinhlelo le uhulumende abesavela nato atibuka kwekuthi tingete taqala ukuphehla gesi letinye tato bese livele sesitawo approval letinye set approve kwekuthi labo responsible for tona bakasemagesini bende siqiniseko ukuthi tiyaqala masinyane naletinye ke letinkulu lokubheka ukuthi nato ti-approve siyendlulisa ke kubonga nekuqela ukuthi sonke sive sisukume sime ngetinyawo ukuze ukuthi umsebenzi welive ube ngo lobonakalako nalokukhulako kakhulu singathatha leli thuba ke kubanga wonke ama-ministers ne-staff ama-civil servants labe ingxenye yalomhlangano yawenda ukuthi uzobe impumelelo tawuphuma ke lihlelo lahulumende ngalokubhaliwe leli outcome yalomhlangano bathiwa namhlanje kuliqiniso ukuthi hulumende unqomile futhi ukuthi indzaba yenkhohlakalo leseyenza 11 utayisebenta ngako konke lokusemandleni njengoba besaqalile kuyisebenta kuze ukuthi sivale lempompi yokulahleka kwetimali sinalabagangile babonane nemthetho so i-corruption itawusetshenzwa uhulumende ukhokhile ukuthi isetshenzwe kanjani sibhekile ke ukuthi leto ke tingoni tahulumende letiniketwe amandla ukuthi tisebente yona i-corruption titawusukuma masinyane tisebente siyacela sive sisibambise nakhona lapho siyabonga.
The Judicial Commission of Inquiry that has been appointed to probe public complaints about the office of the Master of the High Court says it will be transparent at all times and has invited the public to come forward and make truthful submissions. The Commission says there will be nothing unique about making submissions before it, as witnesses make submissions in murder cases where one would think there would be danger to their lives. The Commission has said this during the swearing-in of commissioners at the Industrial Court of Appeal on Wednesday.
Of the commission have been sworn in on Wednesday morning in Babane. The swearing-in was administered by Supreme Court Judge Sabelo Matsebula, who said the commission could now start working.
These are the judges who have a good track record. So we hope they will do their work independently and make the report available to the nation.
The commission said it would plan on how to get submissions from people in remote areas and also encouraged witnesses to speak freely.
Sisada ukuhlelisa ukuthi sihlangana njani sihlangana kuphi.
Supreme Court Judge Majayenga Dlamini says they are yet to meet and decide how they will reach out to people in remote areas and possibly meet them halfway, as these issues also affect them.
Very, very sensitive.
Judge Mzanil Fagutse says testifying is nothing new in the Kingdom of Eswatini, as witnesses are often invited or summoned to testify before courts in serious issues which include murder. He says the state may not be able to offer protection to each and every witness that will come before the commission. The commission said it was yet to meet and decide whether the public will be allowed to listen to submissions or not, as there will be a report that will be made public at the end of the probe. For Eswatini TV News, Temgosi Mavimbela with Themba Shabangu, Mbabane.
NGOs have given a thumbs up to the Commission of Inquiry appointed by Chief Justice Bheki Maphalala to look into complaints about the office of the Master of the High Court. They say the Commission will come out with recommendations that will help the Master's office deliver better.
Following the appointment of a Judicial Commission of Inquiry that will investigate complaints about the office of the Master of the High Court, NGOs dealing with children and women issues have shown support for the exercise. Umhluma Women and Youth Foundation founder Lungelo Zulu says they will also make submissions before the commission.
As an organization, definitely, we are going to present our cases so that the Commission of Inquiry can have a better picture and have some good evidence as far as the issues that have been constantly raised by the widows during the previous Sibaya and on a daily basis. And we have sister organizations that have been saying there must be something that is now something that must be done as far as probing the Master of the High Court is concerned.
Save the Children Director Tumsani Mnisi says they hope the commission will make recommendations that will help Maswati and the probed office deliver better.
If the public was supposed to be getting the service, if some complaints, I think it's only fair that those complaints should be addressed. We should get into the bottom of the issue. And I think it's a good practice for both the Master's office and for the public, so that these things can be transparent.
The probe is expected to take 3 months. For Eswatini TV News, Temgosi Mavimbela with Themba Shabangu, Mbabane.
Anglican Church Reverend Begindlela Magongo has passed on. Magongo served as the chairperson of Eswatini Council of Churches for almost 5 years. The passing away of Reverend Magongo is confirmed by Anglican Church canon Dr. Stelo Dlamini. According to a police report, the driver in this accident sustained serious injuries and was certified dead upon arrival in a hospital. 3 passengers in the car sustained serious injuries and were admitted in hospital. These passengers include a man and 2 females. Meanwhile, Anglican Church canon Dr. Stelo Dlamini elaborates about the death of Magongo.
We went to the family to see them, although they are busy, but we got the information that he passed on in an accident yesterday night or yesterday evening. Yeah, we are saddened as the church. Magongo has been a reverend in the church, has been a priest. He started as a young man. He was vibrant from the youth ranks, and then we became an ordinand. He was very much vibrant, and he was very much good in administration, assisting us with our regulations, with our canons, interpretation, as well as development of strategic plans. He was a very useful and handy man, and he would assist and help others that are young and growing. So we are very much saddened. He was in a position of being an archdeacon for 13 years, although at the time of his demise, he was no longer the archdeacon, but he has served the church for 13 years as an archdeacon. That is to say, he was at the pinnacle or at the management of our diocese. So we have lost a great man, a man of courage, a man who would, against all odds, stands for what he believed in, and he would, in most cases and most times, he would stand to give a contribution. He would never allow his silence to be too loud. And in every meeting, you would tell that Mongo is present.
The Eswatini Meteorological Service says the heavy rains forecasted to hit the country, accompanied by thunderstorms and lightning, are expected to hit most parts of the country. According to meteorologist Buhle Smilane, even though hailstorms and strong winds can be expected, they are not expected to be severe, as their chances are very slim, but eMaswati should remain vigilant.
Eswatini Meteorological Services meteorologist Buhle Simelane says the heavy rains expected to hit the country tonight will result in overflowing of rivers and bridges.
The rains are caused by the frontal system that was passing or brushing over the country, coupled with the tropical air that was bringing the moisture from the north, giving us those heavy rains. And these kind of conditions are expected to continue or to last until tonight, whereby we're expecting to have some showers, strong showers and the severe thunderstorms at places. Otherwise, it's going to be cloudy and cold. And tomorrow, nothing much expecting, because this system that I'm talking about would have passed by then, leaving us with some just light rain and fog over some places. Otherwise, it's going to be cloudy with some partly cloudy conditions. When we talk of thunderstorms include some ingredients as well. The ingredient that goes with thunderstorms, something like lightning. Lightning is coupled in the thunderstorms, as well as the hailstorms. So when we talk of thunderstorms, let the viewer out there prepare himself and be ready that this may happen at any time. I'm talking about hailstorms and the lightning that are dangerous. So they should make sure that they take precautions on that.
As the country awaits for the predicted heavy rains, it is fresh from being hit by heavy rains with hailstorm last week, especially some areas under Shiselweni 2 constituency. This hailstorm affected over 323 eMaswati from 71 households. For Eswatini TV News, Fortune Dlangamandla, with Manzini Mbabane.
And now we'll have an ad break and the news will resume shortly.
Today, you have a choice. How will you become future ready? Are you equipped to lead? How will you transform your career? Regent Business School empowers you with the leadership and entrepreneurial skills to disrupt, rethink, innovate, and be the future. Visit regent.ac.za to register today.
Welcome back, and moving on, a 33-year-old mother of Manzini area in Imliba allegedly forced and fed her 3 children a poisonous substance and they died. The children are boys aged 9 and 5 as well as a 2-year-old girl. The children were discovered dead inside a house around 2 p.m. on Tuesday. The tragic incident is confirmed by Senior Superintendent Pindile Vilagati. As we speak, the mother of the 3 children is also critical in hospital, as she is alleged to have drank the poisonous substance that she forcefully fed her children. We hope that she will get better so she could assist the police in solving this matter. During this time of the year, cases of this nature usually increase because of parent disagreements over schools opening related issues. This may lead to anger issues, which may result in one committing an offense.
Psychologists say cases of gender-based violence normally increase around this time of the year, and this can have negative effects on children.
Parents should also remember that they are the children's parents and they must take responsibility of their children. They should do this even if the parents are no longer romantically involved, or they no longer see eye to eye. The parents must always remember that they have children together.
So batali kadzinga ukuthi bahlale phasi bakhulumisane ngaloko. We say ukuthi basically is the communication part, because you just need to communicate openly. Ungabi ukuthi lo munye umntali sofuna kulaya lo munye umntali.
The psychologists further add that parents should communicate on which schools their children will enroll. They say this should not frustrate any of the parents, especially the part of paying school fees. For Eswatini TV News, Fortune Dlangamandla, with Manzini Mbabane.
About 10 complaints relating to unfair competition practices in the school uniform business have been reported to the Eswatini Competition Commission by parents. Nolwazi Kunene, who is the manager in charge of cartels and enforcement, says schools are expected to abide by the Commission's directive of May 2020, which was to the effect that by May 2022, schools should have ended all single sources of school uniform supply so as to open up the market for parents to buy at competitive prices. Nolwazi Kunene says the reported complaints are from the Hoho, Manzini and Lubombo regions.
The Commission has observed further the improved adherence from schools and parents. This is seen through that there's a high number of people, schools and parents who contact the Commission and seek guidance as to avoid further conflict. Though there is an improvement in terms of compliance with the Competition Act, we observe that there's still some slight defiance for some who continue to conclude the exclusive agreements, which were declared to be anti-competitive, and then abuse the consumer rights with avoiding their parents to have an opportunity to buy the uniform from any place. We therefore urge schools to appoint more than one supplier of school uniform to not infringe the choice of consumers. And when they appoint a supplier, they must follow a competitive and transparent process. The Commission, therefore, will not hesitate to prosecute offending schools and retailers and manufacturers of school uniform.
Proof of residence in Manzini will now be a requirement for one to be buried in the new cemetery of the Manzini city. This was said by Matogoza Twala, who is the communications manager for the Manzini Municipal Council, when explaining some of the procedures to be followed in the new burial site, since the Ngwane Park cemetery is now full.
The old cemetery at Ngwane Park had been used for over 16 years, and the new burial site, which is about 29 hectares in size, is located next to the city's animal pound. The communications manager at the Manzini Municipal Council, Matogoza Twala, says at the new burial site, double burials will be allowed, as this would help save burial space.
With effect from today, we will now bury our loved ones in our new cemetery. We have a lone section that is for people who will not want to, after some time, place a tombstone on the tomb. We also have a separate section for people who will want to use tombstones in those graves. And then we also have a section that will be used for urns. You know that some people prefer cremation for burial. When we were burying at Ngwane Park, we were burying people from all over the country. But with the new one, we are saying it is going to be strictly for residents of the city. It could be property owner, it could be tenant.
Twala further says this has come about as a result of the city's development plan, wherein residents made contributions during the city's annual consultation meetings. Reporting, I'm Mbongwa Dube in Manzini.
In international news, the U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken has met with Rwandan President Paul Kagame on the sidelines of the World Economic Forum in Davos. During the meeting, Blinken said the U.S. is committed to supporting efforts towards a peaceful resolution of differences between Rwanda and the Democratic Republic of Congo.
During the meeting with President Paul Kagame, the U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken said the U.S. was committed to supporting efforts towards a peaceful resolution of differences between Rwanda and Congo and avoiding conflict in the eastern DRC. Blinken appreciated Kagame for the work he has done, especially over the last couple of months in trying to find a positive and peaceful way forward. The meeting between the Secretary and the President comes after the Congolese President Felix Tshisekedi has accused Rwanda and its President Paul Kagame of providing military support to M23 rebels who are brutally killing people in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Meanwhile, in Niger, Niger's Prime Minister Ali Mahaman Lamine Zein is in Russia's capital Moscow for talks aimed at deepening economic and military ties between the two countries. The Prime Minister is accompanied by Defense Minister as well as Niger's Minister of Petroleum and Trade. Media reports in Niger say Mr. Zein will also visit Turkey, Iran and Serbia after having a fruitful meeting with Russian officials. Niger's military junta, which is under tough sanctions from its West African neighbors, is seeking to diversify its partnerships. On another note, a shipment of medicine for dozens of hostages held by Hamas is heading to Gaza after France and Qatar mediated the first agreement between Israel and the militant group Hamas since a week-long ceasefire in November. The medicines arrived in Palestine via Egypt. The deal also includes the delivery of humanitarian aid to Palestinians in the besieged coastal enclave. The agreement came more than 100 days into a conflict that shows no signs of ending and which has sparked tensions across the Middle East with strikes and counterstrikes in recent days from northern Iraq to the Red Sea and from southern Lebanon to Pakistan. Reporting, Ambendulo Kumbi, visual sourced from France 24 and DW.
Have a look at our financial indicators.
It can be.
Moving on to sports, Manzini Wanderers have secured their second victory of the season under the MTN Premier League after their 1-0 victory against the defending champions Green Mamba at the Mavuso Sports Centre in Manzini on Tuesday evening.
Manzini Wanderers have secured their second victory of the season after their 1-0 result against defending champions Green Mamba at the Mavuso Sports Centre in Manzini, thanks to their captain Mlamuli Ngambule with a beautiful finish in the dying moments of the game, which sees Wanderers now moving up to 11 points in the league. For head coach Nyanga Hlope, the secret has been to work as a team and be able to get also the results as a team. For Ernest Mavuso of Green Mamba, he believes the season is getting tougher as they have now started dropping points unnecessary. Unfortunately, Wanderers' next encounter will be against Madlenya this coming weekend in the Ngwenyama Cup tournament. For Eswatini TV Sports, Fabiso Msondera with Linda Dlamini, Mavuso Sports Centre, Manzini.
That's all for now. Before I go, here's a reminder of our top stories.
As the cabinet retreat ends today, the Prime Minister, His Excellency Russell Dlamini, has delivered his report. Commissioners of the Judicial Commission of Inquiry appointed to probe public complaints about the office of the Master of the High Court have been sworn in. Anglican Church Reverend Mongo has passed on.
And with that, it's a wrap up. Next is another update from myself and the team. Many thanks for your company. Take care.